What's up, guys? It's Chaz and Charlie, and today I want to talk about smoking a lot of weed during Christmas, during the holidays. And it's kind of a loaded topic. I won't get too spiritual, too religious, but something that I have noticed, and since we are in a time of Yule and happiness and holidays and Christmas, why not open the conversation? So, disclaimer, me personally, I don't celebrate Christmas for spiritual reasons. Christmas is pagan. It has nothing to do with the birth of the one they call Jesus, nothing to do with the Bible. If you just do a brief research on the history of Christmas, you will quickly find out, like I just said, it has nothing to do with Jesus, nothing to do with the Bible, nothing to do with God, everything to do with Saturnalia, Yule. Like I said, research it. This is not about a Christmas. Anyways, this is not a video to go into the in-depth origins of Christmas, but like I said, briefly, research it, you'll find out it has nothing to do with God and Jesus. So, I will say, even before I chose not to celebrate Christmas, because I did celebrate Christmas the majority of my life, only in the past 8 years have I chosen to not celebrate Christmas due to it being pagan. But even before that, if you notice, like, Christmas is a depressing holiday. They always say it's time for family, it's a time for joy, seasons cheer. When actually it's quite sad. First of all Christmas music is sad. If you just really concentrate on movies, all Christmas movies, it's always sad. It's always something bad going on. Even the lighthearted ones, something like Home Alone, which is a Christmas kid classic. That's sad. If it was in real life and some parents forgot their child at home and they were miles away and left the child at home for days at end without any food, without provision because they forgot him, we would probably call CPS on them. That's a pretty sad story. But from something that lighthearted to just notice this time of year, if you happen to watch a Christmas movie, they always have a sad connotation. Something bad is always going on, and I think that is definitely on purpose. So although they portray Christmas to be this, like I said, time of joy, time of family, it really propels any type of depression you have going on in your life. A lot of times, if your mother has died or someone close to you has died in your family, it's sad to you because you're like, oh, this is my first Christmas without mom, first Christmas without dad. And you tend to focus more so on a lost loved one than who's actually there with you. Only people that Christmas should be fun to, or it probably is fun to, is children. And it probably depends on what child it is, if that's the case. I mean, you have to be from at least not the poorest of family or not a neglectful family. If you're one of those, then maybe that sucks for you too. But most adults, I think it's clear that Christmas is more sad than actually happy. So, saying all that, a lot of times when we do smoke weed, we do use weed on a consistent basis, everyday basis. We're trying to mask something. So a big reason on why people tend to abuse weed is due to anxiety, is due to depression. So in this time of holiday cheer, when all the songs are sad, when it's cold, when if you're from a not close family, if you're missing a loved one that recently died, you're probably going to want to smoke a lot more weed to try to mask those feelings. I mean, you're inside the house. You can't really be outside because it's cold unless you're from a state that's probably hot. But you're going to be inside, cooped up in your home, more depressed. And it kind of almost makes me think about the COVID era, how they said the idea of people being stuck in a home with their family caused depression, which I think says a lot about your personal life, a lot about your foundation, if that is the case. I think the same thing goes for Christmas. A lot of times we, like I said, act like Christmas is this nice, joyous time, when it's not. I mean, I didn't have the worst upbringing growing up, but I mean, there were a few Christmases, one in particular that was extremely bad. My parents got into this big argument. It was ruined. It lingered over into Christmas Day. And I kind of, my thoughts of Christmas, that overrides it. That particular Christmas overrides all my other thoughts of Christmas. I mean, I did get a wrestling ring that year, which I was kind of happy about, but I think the fact that my parents had this knockdown, blowout argument kind of overrid that. But I think that's the case in many of our childhoods. Now, we're like I said, from a family who didn't have a lot, where you didn't get as many toys, or your family wasn't close, or maybe you came from a broken home or divorced parents, to where, I mean, family wasn't as a big thing. Or maybe your family is close, but they argue the whole time. You know, if you get 10 members of the family together, I mean, there's a good chance people are going to argue. So we have all these different emotions involved with the holiday, which can lead to anxiety, lead to depression, which is going to cause you to most likely smoke more weed. And trust me, I don't believe any of these things are all by mishap. Besides the fact that these holidays really do bring worship to other gods, just from a more universal standpoint, these holidays are designed to make money. And people tend to buy more when they're sad. People, sorry for all the leaves. People tend to buy more when they're depressed. The more people feel insecure about something in their life, they're going to go to the stores to try to buy things to make up for that. So, I think it's no coincidence that the music is sad, that the movies are sad, that they do prompt all these insecure, bad feelings, so we can go out and just buy a whole lot of shit that we forget about the next day. So if you are battling a weed addiction in this time of the holidays, be aware of what's going on around you. Be aware of what's going on through your head. A lot of times we get so stuck in Nemo cycle that we just do things by habit, by choice, just by traditions, and we don't realize why we do them and the motivation behind them. Whether it's motivation that we have in our personal lives or motivation that's going on the outside. But be aware of your feelings, your emotions, your ups, your downs in this time of the holidays. Because I warn you, they are not about happiness. It's not about this family, peace, love, and joy. I mean, let's be real. Most of us, a lot of us, don't get along with our families. And you may say, well, I get along with, I mean, there are exceptions, and maybe some people do. Okay, let's say 40% of people get along with their families and 60% don't. I don't think it's that high, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, 6% people don't get along with their families. And I think there's more, because if it wasn't more, then, like I said, the idea of when COVID happened, want to send people into this spiral depression because they were in the house with their children and wives for 3 months. So Christmas prompts these same feelings, these same thoughts of depression, these same thoughts of anxiety. So in turn, you're probably going to end up smoking more weed if you are battling a weed addiction. And you're probably saying, okay, so if I'm going to be depressed, how more depressed than usual, why would I quit weed now? And truth be told, if you're looking for a reason to smoke weed, there always will be a reason. I mean, once we get out the holidays, we always find a reason to continue a habit that we don't want to quit. But if you can quit doing this time when all the odds, when all the media, when all the spirits are against you, how better can you handle your addiction when we're not in this season that really doesn't promote family, but more so supports loneliness and depression and despair? So what do you guys feel? Have you noticed you get more depressed during the holidays? Have you noticed you may smoke more weed during this time? I would like to find out. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a weirdo that I just have a doom and gloom view on life itself. I don't think so, but maybe I do. So, guys, like, subscribe, share. Most importantly, comment below. I would definitely like to hear what you guys have to say. So until next time, guys, we are all in this together.